I'm Steve Dieckhaus, and this is Haus Talk, a podcast where we unpack what it's really like to live a life above average. Real people, real stories, real habits, real growth. See, every high performer has a story that's generally built upon faith, discipline, or courage. The courage to keep going even after life kicks you hard. If you're here, welcome.
You are Ember Dieckhaus.
Yeah.
You are my wife. You are my baby mama.
Yeah.
I met you when I was 18 years old in the dorms at Washburn University, and you reached over with your hand like this.
Okay.
And she reached over with her hand like this, and I kissed it, and I knew I was going to marry you when I met you. And I love our story. And you are a girl mom of 3, and you are absolutely the best. No one's better. You are a awesome rock and supporter wife. You come from a social work background. You love everybody. You care for everybody. And that's your intro. So
Yeah.
I appreciate you and taking a cold leap of faith, having my back and doing this with me.
Not hard to have your back. Usually say, whenever you do things, you don't think you ever feel at what you do. So it's pretty easy to have your back. I think the only thing you probably ever fail at is like some sort of a form of laundry or how you load the dishwasher. I could argue that.
I think it gets done. I think the job gets done.
Does it though? Are we ready to roll?
You're on, yeah.
All right.
Drill me.
Well, I don't even think we talked about like at home. We kind of talked about why you wanted to do this, but we never really got an answer why you wanted to do this podcast. And is it comfortable for you? Because you love public speaking, but this is different.
Is it comfortable is like, it's one of those things that it is comfortably uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So when I get to talk with people, when I get to encourage and motivate and believe in people, that is comfortable. Like I love that. And I love that I feel like I'm serving through some of that stuff. I love that I feel like I'm help bringing people along. I'm encouraging people. One of the coolest things is when people don't think they can, and you can enlighten them and encourage them, and then they do. Mm-hmm. Ever since, sports and being a team captain and in high school and college, and to now running a team and seeing those people like come into an industry where they're 100% commission, not really know if they're going to make it, and then see them have killer months. Like that is one of the coolest things that I've felt, is kind of bring up and see other people win. So there's a little bit of the why behind there from that. But I think that one of the biggest whys in kind of like putting all this together and doing this is high performers are very unique. They have a lot of similar things, and I want to bring that out, but I would also like to think about lineage and our family, and showing the girls who their dad was at age 35, and to be able to capture it, and to be able to capture hopefully some continued upward trajectory into high performance for us. And for myself professionally, right? Like to be able to capture these moments. I think it's going to be really special to look back at. This being our first one, I think it's going to be really special for us to create this memory and this content. I always think about Pappy, my grandpa, and I think about how I didn't really start doing some of the things entrepreneurial wise or professional until he had already had Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
And I think about what he would think.
I remember how proud you were just over like the symbol, like the Bank of Washington, like symbol. Yeah. Was that like what is that called? The logo?
Yeah, the logo. Yeah. And I think that it's going to be cool to, if he would have had something like this, I'd have been all over it, right?
Yeah.
So if anything else, I'm excited to create some memories and some moments to be able to pass down the family of what we got here.
Well, you
hopefully inspire people that they can do things that they didn't think they could.
Piggybacking off of the inspire, you just led me straight into this. I'm most excited for you to inspire young generations. Like, that is what I'm most fired up about, because we live in like a world where people just don't have drive or don't want to work. And if your videos, your podcast can get through to somebody who's just not inspired to motivate them, I think that's going to be pretty cool, because you are pretty inspiring, but influential for the young community for sure. Yeah. Not just like our age group and up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You were talking about high performance people. What is a high performance person? Because it's not just like a lender, right?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Because you call me a high performance person.
You are. So. You are a high performance wife. You're a high performance mom. You're a high performance friend. And I think that in order to be in that place, in that category, you have to be going above and beyond on things. And for me, like, one of the prayers that I literally prayed all through growing up was, Lord, please always, always, always let me fear mediocrity. Like, period. Point blank. Like, I want to fear it to my bones. I want to be afraid of being mediocre.
I love that.
And a big mantra that I have, be phenomenal or be forgotten. So I think that you are not a mediocre mom. You're a high performer mom. You go above and beyond any and every time you can. You leave it all out on the field.
So this is for everybody, because
this is for everybody.
This is not just like this certain, financial demographic. Like, this is for everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think that high performers have certain habits. I think that just because you haven't elevated to a status, like, a status doesn't make you a high performer, right? Like, you could be a high performer wife and like you do
and make no money
and or
like I do
or friend, right? Like, you go above and beyond when people are feelings hurt. You reach out, you call, you might get them cookies or something. I mean, you're a high performance mom, and the fact that we just did all this fundraiser and you coached and taught Elsie how to write thank you cards and be grateful, and we sent out these moms with these thank you cards, and it's not average. And I think that when you can develop the behaviors, the disciplines, the accountability, and you can display that you're not the average, that you're above that, and then maybe even above, good, you're great, and then maybe even above great, elite.
Yeah.
Like, that to me is applicable to any field, any sport, any position that you're in life, and then just wholeheartedly doing that.
I think, like, with us in our home, our high performance starts with like our habits, right? In our home, the things that we are consistent on, because we are very consistent people. What are some of the things you do at home that you think makes you high performing or sets you up for that high performance day? Because I know quite a few that you have like this routine. You're a routine. That's the word I was looking for. We're very routine people.
Yeah.
Regimented.
I mean,
start me from the beginning. Like, start from the beginning of your morning.
It's crazy because I remember when we used to live in Troy.
Yeah.
And I can remember waking up early in the morning for one of the first times.
Yeah.
And
what's early in the morning though?
5 o'clock.
Okay. Cause like that differs for people. Like some people think 8 a.m. is early, right?
And I'm not saying
when you don't have kids.
Right. And I'm not saying like in order to be a high performer, you have to wake up at 5, right? Like, but I remember doing it and trying to put these habits into place to transition from athletics to success to entrepreneur success. And that was one of the things I kept picking up on. I remember waking up and reading and like 30 because I was so tired, and it was such a new habit to consistently wake up at 5 a.m. and invest into myself with a book, with notes, with whatever it was that I was focused on and improving inwards. And I can remember wrapping that up within an hour and then transitioning to my workout and then transitioning to actually going to the office. And for me, in our routine now, to circle back to the full routine, I think that by doing something along the lines of that morning routine, and I still wake up every morning for an hour, and I have an hour at 5, and I have an hour of myself.
I was going to say it never changed from that day in Troy. It just kept rolling until today because you still do that.
Whether I have an hour of creative time, as I would call it, behind a screen where I'm business planning and doing things without my phone ringing, without a text message, without an email going off. I mean, the 5 a.m. dead hour, you can ask my team. They get stuff from me all the time because I'm just staying creative and flow. And then I'll transition to a workout from 6:30 to 7:30, and then get ready, bring the girls in. But I think what's important, bring the girls into school. But I think what's important about the way that I start my day is I know that a lot of the rest of my day is not going to be for me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know like a lot of the rest of my day is going to be helping so-and-so get this done, or taking the girls to school, or helping out with the house practices and everything else. Like but investing in yourself, and because you're not going to be the same you without that.
Yeah.
You're not going to be good for the rest of the people. I wouldn't without that.
Yeah.
So I think that's really important, and from a daily perspective. Then I also think from a career perspective, how many times have I invested in coaching? How many times have I gone and been coached at an event from somebody, and how much does that accelerate in my growth?
Yeah.
Right. So like, I think that from that high performance perspective, routine, like not only from the daily, but through your career, you're only superior to who you were yesterday.
Okay.
So you're only better than you yesterday, which means a couple things: humility, humble, right? But it also means that you're consistently growing. You're consistently getting better.
Deep thoughts with Steve Dieckhaus. Deep thoughts.
You're a high performer.
I feel like you have so many different, talents, but I do want to point out you quickly kind of scathed by that you dropped the girls off for school and that being a part of your routine, but also what's a part of that routine. And you'll hear later on in that video in a future podcast that your kids, you're a big part of their routine every morning, right? So what do you have them do to start their morning off?
So to unpack that, I started on affirmations. I started on visualizations. I started on gratitude.
Yep.
And I remember, one of the first times I had to take Stevie to school and drop her off, I was bitter about it.
I remember that too.
Because I'm like, well, you stay at home, you can drop her off.
Yes.
Like, I'm not doing this.
But it was like waking up other kids to take her to school, and she's on your way to work.
And I'm like trying to go 100 miles per hour over at work, and like not trying to add another thing on my plate, and trying to time block and do all these different things. And I'm so glad that you put your foot down and said, no, you need to take her. You need to still take it 10 minutes, 15 minutes every single day, take her. And I remember having some moments where I shifted from have to get to. And we started doing affirmations, and we say, I'm smart, I'm kind,
I'm strong, I'm brave, I'm happy.
And I'm a princess warrior.
That was your add-in specifically.
And I'm a princess warrior, and mommy and daddy love me so much. And it's so cool to know that they got that down and they're believing in themselves. And like, it's a proud dad moment.
Yeah, it
like
should be.
It feels
even
good.
down to Millie, our 3-year-old.
And And I would do gratitudes too. So I ask them what they're grateful for, what they're excited for today. And that's something that I took from my business practices directly down to the letter that I wrote us, directly down to my future self, and speak things in existence and visualize and, affirm that, to yourself out loud that we're on the right track.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it makes a huge impact on them in the long run too. And this is something that's going to be a core memory for them that they're going to carry with them and when they become high performance people too.
Yeah.
Your fitness, your workouts.
Yeah.
Because you make that sound like really like a little thing, little blip of your day, but we smell you every morning, and it is not a blip of our day. It is an intense regimen that you've had yourself on since I've known you.
Yeah.
At 18, like you have stuck with it every day since then. Why? How is that impacting you?
You had said something earlier when we started this pod about our generation, next generation doesn't do a lot of hard work and things.
The drive.
The drive.
Yeah.
And I just think that doing something hard physically every day is something that aligns the mental every day.
Yeah.
And there's days where I don't work out, and you're like, dude, get away from me, go work out.
Because you're grouchy.
I'm grouchy. It's my coffee. It's my routine. It has to be done. And I think also just from the athletic background, I find I have demons out there. I get rid of them. I get rid of the aggression. I kind of have a time to just completely release and unwind any frustrations on the weight or whatever it is that I'm doing to be more clear-headed for the rest of the day. And then you start your day off with one win. So you start your day off with momentum right off the bat, rolling into the rest of your day to continue to win with with the momentum, right? So you did something hard. You woke up early. You poured into yourself. You did something hard. You worked out already. And it's a hard workout.
How'd you get into this in the first place though? Like starting back from like grade school, playing Foursquare. Like how did we get here because this isn't like people don't just come out this way, like who are these influential people? How did this happen? Who are you? Why are you you?
So I can remember when I was at my dad's, and my room was in the basement, and I would open the door to the only finished part was my room in the basement, and I would open my door to go take a leak in the middle of the night, and I would jam my toe on 6 different weights on the way out. Literally, I would walk out into a weight room. Yep. Every single day.
Yep. Literally.
At my dad's. I can remember trying to sleep at 6 o'clock before school or even over the summer AM, and my dad's cleaning weights down there. And I'm like, that's so freaking loud. And then you'll hear an old man go, oh.
He still does.
So, I mean, I think part of it's that, like, it's kind of been passed down.
You grew up with that.
But then it's just also like everything else that we talked about. It's just so good.
Well, you have him who kind of started your fitness journey. What about like, we talk about drive, right? Who was that influential person, or what was the influence for you? Like I want to know all the periods of your life, like the beginning, the middle, which I think would be like, high school, college.
So
and now,
if we start off in, elementary school.
The beginning. Yeah.
I mean, Brad and I competed with each other.
Explain who Brad is.
My brother.
Yeah.
Every day, all day. And he'll be on the next podcast, by the way.
A year apart.
Year apart.
Year apart in age.
Apart. Brad will be on the next podcast, and we kind of talk a little bit about this. But him and I competed with each other nonstop. Yeah. And my dad would compete us against each other nonstop. Yeah. And we were boys, and we were rough house, and we had friends, and that were all the same. And then we would play backyard football, and we would start just elevating each other through being competition with each other, but not against each other. And
I love that you said elevating each other, because you were both like lifting each other up, and that's how you still are now. And that warms my heart, because it's so true. You guys lift each other.
he was such a constant. We were such a constant to each other through our childhood and even now, right?
Yeah.
Kind of coming up through that. I think the drive, I mean, I just don't want to be mediocre. Like good is not okay.
Yeah.
Like it's just, when I look back at a lot of things, and something that I even said when we started this, I don't want the girls not to be so proud of who I was to you guys when I leave.
You said you don't want us to be proud?
No, so proud. Like I want you guys to be so proud of who I was. And that's so much of my why.
Well, you could go tomorrow and we would be so proud of who you are. So mission accomplished there.
And I'll be honest, I thought about that in high school. I thought about that before I knew you, obviously before we had the girls, right? Like I thought about legacy and
your footprint.
Yeah. And I thought about that. And that was a big drive, but then also competition, just not wanting to lose.
That has been a very big driving factor for you. But hold on, you didn't even get past elementary. You talked about Brad being your beginning stages, but what about moving forward? Did that shift at all? Because you guys went
I think
to different colleges.
I think in high school, it was constant.
Yeah.
When I won state and gave Brad my medal for him, right? Like
wrestling.
Yeah. And wrestling. Yeah.
Because you both were wrestlers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He lost a match, a finals match in high school. I don't think he should have lost.
Yeah.
What we would say is just a bad call. And so much so, one of our friends flipped the ref off and got thrown out of the place.
Naturally.
Not saying no names, but I was so like shook from that. And wrestling was never my number one. Like it was always football, right? Love football. And I was so driven from that, and I was so pushed for that. And he was a big reason why, like, I dedicated myself, I did, to the wrestling after that.
Yeah.
And wanted to give him that golden medal that he should have got a year ago.
Yeah.
And so that was really special.
That's really sweet.
And but I think
I have a picture. We have a picture of that in your office.
I know. I think that in college, again, not want to be mediocre, but when you transition to college sports, everybody's a dog. Everybody's a state champ. Everybody was at all state. Everybody was.
You're less impressive.
You so are. You start from freshman again, and
which is where you met me.
Yeah,
you were pretty impressive then, though.
God bless you for sticking with me. But I think when you get to that level, it's like what you've done before that's expired. You've gotten you're reset. You don't have anything, and then you're up there with all these other alphas that are like thinking they're better than you, you're better than them,
and everybody's trying to prove themselves.
It's a completely reignite. And the way I explain this is literally, if you go to college to play a sport, like you hit puberty when, for me, I was in high school, but right, I was late bloomer, but you hit puberty and you like grow. And you go for, when you go to college to play sport, you got to hit puberty again. Like you got to get the neck, you got to get the butt, you got to get the shoulders, like you got to get the explosion, you got to have everything, you have to have the knowledge. And I think I was really fortunate to have a really good sporting cast with our team too. Some of the guys that we played with and worked out with, it was just awesome to compete with them every single day, and the brotherhood that we got to create. And then we had some high level coaches that came back in that really poured into us from there.
You were elevating each other,
which the team, I feel like from the football aspect, that's probably one of the things I miss the most about football is like getting in a room,
the camaraderie
with 50 other guys, the music's up to 100, putting the weight on the bar. And then somebody say they don't want to put any more weight on it. And you go and you put it on and you make them do it. and yelling through a rep, like that's one of the things that is just so beautiful about the game of team sport like football. I know I'm talking about.
No, I think that's why you do your float trip every year, is to get that little vibe back.
100%. 100%. And then I think transitioning from like my drive from college, I was in competition with, I think myself, I think a lot with wanting to be the best version and knowing how special it was that I got to continue to play football, the best game in the freaking world.
Yeah.
And I was in love with that game, still am. And I would do anything to keep playing. And I knew how special it was. So that was all the drive I needed for training the way that I did and doing the things that we had to do there. And then to transition out to the real world, you guys, right? Like,
yeah.
You guys are 100%. You have always been a good drive for me.
I remember during that time period, we would make plans, right? Like kids, we would just make plans for our future, what we wanted it to look like. And it was never small. Like we never had like little small dreams. Like we had big dreams. We had a vision of what our house looked like and what our family was, our dog's name, rest in peace, Champ. But we had we had it planned out. And I just remember knowing when we would talk about it, you were going to put this in action. Like I just completely, fully trusted that this was going to be real. And like, whoa, it so surpassed everything we talked about. Like so surpassed it. And it's so impressive though, because, you look back at college kids and what they dream of, what they talk about, and how many of them actually do it, right?
Why did you think you knew that it was going to be real?
Because you were a man of your word. You just always followed through with what you said you were going to do, no matter how small or how big it was. And I don't know, you've always had this drive and you were very confident in it. Like it was going to happen. Like you would take me on dates. I don't even know where the money came from, babe. You were on a scholarship. Where'd the money come from? But I never paid. You know what I mean? Like you just always made it happen.
Oh, yeah, so we dined and dashed. So.
It might have been
totally joking.
It might have been McDonald's, but you know what? Like I'm just saying, you always have had this instilled in you, and I fully trusted that you were gonna take us to where you said we were going, and we surpassed by
going
millions of miles. Oh yeah, we're not done. All right, what about this podcast? How is this part of the journey for you?
I'm excited. I'm so excited for this podcast. Like I'm excited from a perspective to see where and who I can talk to.
I'm excited for
I
that
haven't really talked to anybody about coming aboard on this, maybe one or two people.
Yeah.
And I want this to get out and then I want to start hitting some people up. But I'm excited for this to be different than my career. Mm-hmm. Like I'm excited for this to be more about a passion.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like it's like a second job or anything for me, but like I will have a true passion hobby for doing this.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna be really cool to hear people's stories. I think it's gonna be really special to maybe even have like some moments through this where maybe we go through a story and we find out something that they might be able to do differently.
Yeah.
And if we can like course correct during that would be really cool. Or if somebody is listening and can course correct off of what we can provide and just good organic material, if you will, or good feedback to them, like I'm excited for that. I feel like we're serving a little bit, in doing this.
100%.
And I think that the people that come on here, and I think that the people that come on here genuinely and can really peel back their stories, I think that's what's going to be fantastic. Not only for them to have as an experience, maybe for their lineage and their family and their content and their memory, but I think that's when other people are going to be able to connect and it's going to be able to move their needle too. It's
going to make it way relatable for a bunch of people too. Yeah. I might have a spoiler question that you might be asking some people. So I'm going to ask you first.
Okay.
I want to know your hell and back story.
So,
And I don't know this answer.
yeah.
So do you know this answer? Have you thought about it?
I think it just happened. I think it just happened recently.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't think it did?
Go ahead.
I'm trying to think how I want to explain this. And I love that you
Just explain
told
it.
me to what you want people, that how authentic I want them to be and expose their stories. And then you just flip the script on me for it. So
just say it.
So I was working for a company that I had a very toxic relationship with leadership on. And I knew that I needed to be done with that business relationship.
Yeah.
And I left that company and I went to another company with some of my resources.
Mm-hmm.
And
Choose things very carefully.
I am.
All right. All right.
And for that, I was served. We were served with a lawsuit.
Mm-hmm. It
And
wasn't a little baby lawsuit either.
it was not.
It was not a little baby.
And when that happened, I felt like we were in hell. And I don't want to admit that on camera because I don't want to give them that power. Because they didn't earn that.
Their power is dead and done.
Their power is dead and done.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of times when we were battling back and forth with the previous employer where I felt like I personally was at a rock bottom place. I felt like I was staring down the barrel of a lot of disappointment from a lot of different people and a lot of different households for the decisions that we made. I felt like I had a lot of pressure to perform and execute this regardless of the lawsuit. But the lawsuit was a significant magnifier. I can remember when we were driving to Ruth Chris for my birthday, and I told you where I was at with this, and I can remember how that made you feel, and that buried me deeper to see you shook, right? But I wouldn't change it.
I want to clarify that though. Shook wasn't out of fear for like where we were going to be at. Like we were going to be okay because you are always going to be okay, right? Like you are rooted. We were going to be good. My fear for you was how rattled you were, and you're not easily rattled.
Yeah.
So I want to clarify that because I knew we were going to be just fine.
It was a really hard message to deliver to you.
Yeah.
Really where we were at that time.
I think you struggled most with having to take care of so many people with that and feeling responsible for so many people.
Yeah. And a corporate lawsuit.
It's no joke.
It is no joke. And going through the finances against a corporation as a person is no joke.
Yeah.
I do not have corporate money. I do not have corporate pockets. I do not have corporate resources. And to be buried and kicked and buried and kicked and buried and kicked with all of that was intense.
Yeah.
And that was hell. And I think going through that you can look at it in a couple different lenses, and I had to be severely intentional with compartmentalizing it. I had to be a master at compartmentalizing the stress of opening a new branch, hiring a new team, getting a new company off and running.
Yeah.
Juggling a legal obligation. How old was Millie?
Oh gosh. I don't even know.
22?
22.
Or 23? We left. I left at 23. It was March of 23. She was born at 22. Not even a year old. 3 kids. Juggling that stress.
Yeah.
A wife that stays at home.
Yeah.
The financial stress. And I can remember compartmentalizing and still having faith, childlike faith.
Yep.
That we would get through this.
I'm so glad you mentioned that. That was like the root through that, though. Like through that trial, it was like God is always going to find the snake in the garden, right? And he did. He delivered, man. And
he delivered.
We just needed to be patient. And the amount of times that it shook you on a Sunday night when you were trying to relax and we talked about it and prayed over it and whatever, and he delivered.
I can remember all of that. I can remember, the financial resources that I've had and still am paying to get through this. But I 100% was not the same Steve Dieckhaus. You weren't the same Ember Dieckhaus, mind you. But I was not the same version of myself going into that.
Yeah.
That I came out on the other side of this.
Yeah.
And looking back at it from a perspective of how it was that it changed me was if they were gonna get me, they should have done it by now. Like that revamped motivation, that revamped in drive, like right now, like you're telling me that doesn't drive.
Well, let's just talk about.
You're telling me that doesn't drive me to just kill it and crush it and continue to go down the path that we're down right now. Like they should have got me.
Well, they were coming after you because you were a high performance person.
Yeah.
And they needed you. And you made it out. So congrats to you.
I mean, it is really, really hard to be gaslit.
Yeah.
It's really hard to be manipulated. It is really hard to have that toxicity in your life.
Well,
like it is really hard.
You can't live in that.
You can't be, I was bait switched. It was really hard to have all that happen.
There was a lot of discussion. It wasn't like you were
from
just
an employer for years and then be able to, to navigate out of that with the magnitude of the people and the resources that we did, and to be on the other side of this, they did everything they could to break us apart, everything they could to tear this thing up to shreds. And we kept the family together. We kept the work family together. We kept our family together. We kept the family together. Not that you and I were ever
that wasn't a problem.
More so, I tell the family this, like the work family, I'm like, that throughout this, the whole goal is for them to break up the family. We've got to keep the family together. And we did. And we came out on the other side. And here we are.
And here you are.
Yeah.
With your first podcast.
And I mean, who knows if that event didn't happen, what would my Helen backstory be? Would I be as passionate about a Helen backstory? Will we be sitting here right now creating content around Helen backstories? How? Why? What?
I can tell you one thing, you would not be as positive or as joyful as you are today if you were stuck in that situation still.
Yes. Good is the enemy of great. Say it to the day I die. And we're not here just to be good. And I'm going to fear good for the rest of my life.
We love to talk about our goals. And sometimes you like to write me a little love letter with our goals in them. It's my favorite. I want to know your performance goal right now in the work world, and what's your goal for our family personally?
So, okay. Performance goal it's kind of crazy. And I'll unpack this this is going to be long-winded, so sorry. But,
keep it short and cute for this if you're going to unpack.
No. This is good.
You're going to unpack it here.
Good.
Okay.
This will be good. You'll have some stuff out of this, but so, performance goal professionally right now, like what I'm redoing is I left the previous company about 3 years ago, March. Like a lot of that planning was happening, right? 3 years ago.
Yeah,
like
that's a long time ago.
Right. So when that happened, I had a mentor pass along a book, Traction, and it was an interactive book.
Not sponsored.
Nope. A great book, great book. But I had a mentor pass this along, and the book was called Traction. And something that you do is you put together 1, 3, and 5 year goals.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've always done a year goal as a producer. But I've never looked at 3 and 5. And that book, I put together 1, 3, and 5. And what's really cool right now is we're rolling on year 3. And my year 3 goal at the time was pretty big. And I'm going to hit it. I'm going to hit it from the number perspective.
Yeah.
I should exceed it before year 3, which I've never done a volume or production goal that far out. And it was also aggressive. And it's something cool to look back. Like, I'm proud of myself 3 years ago for going through that, right? Like, my dude, good job. I'm proud of myself now for being in the place that I'm at right now. So, my mentor now, I don't know if I told you this, but my mentor now, we have recently revisited the 3-year goals, and I haven't done that since I've been here. Mm-hmm. I haven't done that since I did 3-year goal last time. And he's like, yeah, we should really look at this. And I was like, perfect. I've done this before. And I was going into units and volume, and it's like, okay, yeah, that's cool. But I think this is a little 2x, like a little 2 times. Like, go like this. Go like this. Go 10x.
I didn't know what you were talking about when you said 2x.
Go bigger. Go bigger.
Love that.
And don't just talk in terms of units and volume and finance, but like, where do you want to be 3 years with your time allocation and into what? Where do you want to be in 3 years with your leadership trajectory and what's passionate to you? Or where do you want to be with getting rid of things that aren't motivating to you, that you're not passionate about to you 3 and 5 years down the line? And part of that conversation, we were going to Mexico, Cancun,
mm-hmm.
and I was going through that exercise. And on the plane home, what did we fly? Allegiance or something?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know. It was
some bad airline where we didn't even get Wi-Fi on the phone.
It was so terrible.
Anything.
They didn't even give our kids snacks.
So I was journaling. As I was going through that, and an exercise that I did was I wrote down Stevie, Elsie, and Millie, how old they are now,
mm-hmm.
age 6 and 3,
mm-hmm.
how old they would be at year 3, 11, 9, 6.
Oh gosh.
How old they would be at year 5. I know.
That makes me really sad.
Know.
I mean,
5 years from now, when we're 40, Stevie will be 13.
13, that's the killer.
Elsie will be 11.
Mm-hmm.
Millie will be 8, Stevie's age.
Oh gosh.
So what about 10 years from now? So I wrote down 3, 5, 10 years, Stevie will be 18.
I'm going to calculate my depression in that year.
I've been in a mortgage for just over 10 years, right? So I looked at it from that lens, and I tied it into my why, the girls, like legacy, what they're going to see. And I'm filtering in these all together, all as one. And in 10 years, how do I want to be dad to them? And in 5 years, where do I want them to see dad, right? And in 3 years, where do I want them to see dad? You to see husband at 40, 45, all those things. So
did you say that you wanted me to see a husband retired on the golf course? Because that's not in my 10-year plan.
I would love that. So I went through that exercise, but I think that part of that, to tie in to the professional, is to reallocate, not just off of unit and volume and numbers, but really take a 10x lens on this and look at it from a purpose and a passion and something that I am reignited about and excited about, and avoiding a burnout on.
Yeah.
Right. And then I think that for us and personal, like, that's a direct correlation with what it was that I was putting together.
Yeah.
But then also probably something that kind of encouraged me to have something like this.
Mm-hmm.
And it
mm-hmm.
really put me in a place to think of our family lineage and legacy and those kinds of things, and be a lot more purposeful with not just money or the numbers, but time and who we're with and what we're doing.
This is definitely motivating me to go look at that plan you had for us when you gave it to me. I don't know, 3 years ago, because that's in my drawer.
I wrote you a letter 3 years ago.
You did. And I think because tonight's date night, we should go look at that and see how we're doing. And we have different goals sometimes too, which I love because they're usually on the opposite end of the spectrum. But I'm really excited to see what you said. So I can't even remember what your 3-year goal was for us.
I love you. I appreciate you coming, being a part of this. You're not a stranger to the cameras, so
Not.
You do good. I appreciate you bringing out everything that you did for me on this, for us, and to help tell this story.
You're a natural, babe.
And I hope that when people watch this, I hope they appreciate how genuine that this podcast is going to be, how authentic. Like, that is my creed to everybody that will view this as like, I'm going to be real. I'm going to be authentic and genuine and give raw, right? Like I'm going to try to peel that out of anybody that sits across the table from me.
Yeah.
And you did that for me, and I knew you would. So thank you. And I think the next podcast is going to be my brother. Again, another raw, high performer.
I'm excited for that.
Authentic, genuine conversation. I am ecstatic about that. He's got so much good knowledge and was a massive part of my mental mindset growing up. And
still is.
And mentor and leader. I mean, I cannot ask for a better older brother, period, point blank, simple, done.
Yeah.
And I think that the viewers are going to see how close him and I were. And I think that's going to be really special, again, for...
Can't wait to read those comments.
Yeah. Not only for people to see, but I think just what's next to come of this, podcast is going to be getting to know the genuine side behind a high performer, a high performance person. And it doesn't have to be a status that somebody has. Like we said, it doesn't have to be an accolade or a resume from somebody. That high performance is within all of us.
Yeah.
And I think that continuing to bring out those guests that share that passion to want to explain their story and hopefully help others and to have viewers get some really good information and value out of it. It's going to be really special, really fun to do. So I hope that people come back. I hope that they see some value in this, and who knows, maybe you'll be back and I'll interview you
you're
next
so
month,
lucky.
and I'll know
if you're
your
so
hella
lucky.
backstory and your why and all the things. Yeah, but I love you.
Love you.